Arrive to location. What does the space necessitate you to do? Consider pace, stance, emotion, proximity to others, placement of body in space. Allow your body to mirror, imitate, and follow movement sets which you notice around you. Allow your body to blend with such patterns. Allow such motion to happen. Let it pass. Return to the emotion of arrival. Remember your preconceptions. Trace the stances which they have left on your body. Trace the acceptance you fabricated to the space. Simplify. Allow your body to repeat the motions you chose to represent. Notice if anything feels uncomfortable. Closing your eyes, allow yourself to dismiss the response to the patterns which you performed. Dismiss. In softness, find comfort and stability in newness. In your own innovation to dismiss constructs you first constructed. Take such movement and reapply, allowing yourself to emerge to a new point of arrival. Take a sense of the liberation you experienced in this momentary freedom. Is this freedom? Attempt to externalize the movement which reflects freedom from spatial expectation. Return again to a sense of others passing by you. Move from the internal personal exploration to the external. Return to a sense of place. How are people around you walking? How can you feel the sense of pace of the space? The emotion by which the space is allowing people to move through. How do you fit into this scale? How does your body fit into the construction around you? Return to forms, to space, to generate an understanding of the body. See how shadows of buildings may affect or generate shapes and forms in location. How are you accepting the behaviors of place, and how such observations manifest as contract in your body? Take a moment to allow yourself to formally agree to the expectations of the space you occupy. Pause, filling the space through breath, envisaging flux both internal and external. Actively dismiss the patterns and observations of the space you occupy. Allow yourself to actively become a spatial anomaly to the space you occupy. Play with alternating these positions, placing acceptance and dismissal as you wish. Return to the space as neutral. Become void. Return to your breath. Acknowledge streams of thoughts to come and to pass. Direct attention to breath, the rise and fall of the exchange of breath which you consume and direct back into the space you are in dialogue with. Finish such experience as you wish, setting out, however, the terms by which you are acknowledging and dismissing your reality as to what the space demands and reflects to you.
this was written for people who were interested in this, didn't really know much about the background to it, and it just arrived. And I thought that it needed something very simple to follow, that you could know exactly what was required, so that the basics of it were always the same. And then the version that Mia's written is much more kind of expressive. If you like, this is the sort of simple score, and that's the same score, but with all the expressive marks and the crescendos and diminuendos and stressed notes and all those other kind of musical things that I don't really know about. So they shouldn't actually be different from one another, but it was written first of all that you might choose the sites yourself, which is not available to you this afternoon, but if you want to go away and choose other places. But the idea is, in terms of design and planning, to look at simplest form, an old place and a new place. Different terms, different ways you might describe them, and we might get different versions. But anyway, then simply go to them, or go to one of them and then to the other, and just have a look around and see the way that people are moving, see the sort of habitual patterns that if you stripped away all the buildings, all the sort of things that people usually look at, certainly in architectural terms, design terms, and just imagined the people, just imagined that was all there was, and just see what they're doing, how they're grouping together, how they're talking to each other, what they're carrying, what they're wearing, all those sort of very ordinary things, the kind of things that you were doing yourselves a few minutes ago, looking for us, walking down here, wondering which cafe to be in and so on. And then when you've sort of watched it as an outsider...
It's like a protection, and when you're wearing a costume, then it's not just you anymore, it's like, so because when nobody can recognize you, you can really do whatever you like.
Yeah.
But it would be strange anyway. I mean, I've never done that. I mean, just the fact that everybody is looking at you and waiting what you're doing next is just weird. Let's say I would decide to run as crazy over the bridge and waving with my arms and screaming and just being crazy. I think this would be easier within this costume.